This is Julien, and welcome to the first preview video of my new digital course, High Vibe Communication, which is going to teach you everything that you need to know when it comes to improving your social skills, meeting new people, and having an amazing social life. Social proof, think of it like it's the Amazon reviews. If you're scrolling through Amazon and you're looking for something, I don't know what it is, you'd be like, I want an air fryer. You're gonna scroll through and you're gonna look for the ones that has the most reviews and the best reviews. That's social proof. Hey, if all these other people are reacting to that person, they like that person, they consider that person valuable, those are the reviews. Me too. Now this here is a limited offer. Okay, if you click the link below and it still works, you are in luck, so do not wait. If this speaks to you, if you resonate, click the link to begin your social journey. And in this first preview video, we're gonna jump right into how to start a conversation with someone. Okay, I'm sure you've experienced this. You're walking down the street, you might see someone who you want to say hi to, right? That seems like a good friend, a good potential partner. Oh, I want to network with that person for business reasons. And most people just freeze. They don't know what to say, they don't know what to do, and they play the waiting game, right? Maybe one day someone will say hi to me, right? Maybe one day when I'm walking down the street, you know, that person will say, hey, I saw you and I wanted to say hi. Oh, thank you. And you're just stuck in this waiting game. I remember in the past, I would stay stuck years in this waiting game, hoping that one day something would change. Well, guess what? That day is today. In this preview video, you're gonna learn the exact practical steps to starting a conversation with a stranger, with someone who you want to meet. So lock in and enjoy. Starting a conversation, going up to someone, you want to meet them, you want to see what they're about, you want to say hi. Don't think of it as you going up and trying to do something to that person to get them to like you. What you're basically doing is you're going up and you're creating an opportunity for someone to get to know you. Okay? That's what starting a conversation is, right? It's creating that opportunity. It's not pursuing, it's creating an opportunity to display who you are. Here's who I am authentically. Is it a win? Is there a middle ground? Do we connect? Yes or no? That's all it is. You're creating an opportunity. That would be, you could say, the act of opening. Your opener is the first thing you say or do. Opening is creating the opportunity. Your opener is the first thing you say or do. Now, your opener really does not matter. So the same mistake people make with where they value what they say over how they say it or their intention behind it, people value the first thing they say more than the rest. The first thing has to be the best, right? Or first impressions are so important. Now, of course, don't be dumb, be smart, act best you can based upon the information you have, but realize that the first thing you say or a first impression doesn't really matter at all. This goes against a lot of mainstream. First impression doesn't matter at all. First impression really has to do with that person's conditioning and what they might even project onto you or see on you. It's not that important, right? That impression changes the more data there is, the more the conversation or interaction happens, okay? And the same with the first thing you say or do, doesn't matter either. People rarely obsess over those little things. They look at the bigger picture. There's not a single person who's like, hey, you know what? It was great talking to you, getting to know you. You're an amazing person, but that first thing you said, that first hello, something was a little bit off about it. I'm sorry. No one's going to say that. Okay? So take off that importance over the buildup and pressure in terms of what's the first thing that I say. Nah. Okay? Now, when saying hi to someone, forget about first impressions, forget about the first thing you say, but also, in terms of calibrating, take the data you have. So based upon the first read of the person and past references, okay, based upon that, the sweet spot should be around there. But then from there, always calibrate to the best case scenario. This means assume familiarity, assume everyone will fucking love you. From there, lower your time of reaction. Just jump in, okay? This will help even before doing any kind of inner work, because what tends to happen is you see a situation, and then, as we just discussed here, you're going to start projecting onto it and making all these assumptions, right? Say you see someone you want to say hi to, and they're with a big group of friends, and all those friends seem really cool, very unstifled. They're in the zone based upon, say, the standards of the environment, or perhaps even your own standards. They're all very high value, and you're like, wow, that's a group. Oh, here we go. There's probably going to be a lot of assumptions that happen, right? The longer you wait, the more you're analyzing, the more you're assuming. And you're probably going to be like, well, like say there's a group, say one person who you want to say hi to with two friends, okay? Any setting, whether it's dating, business, right? It's like, oh, them and their colleagues, one person who you want to say hi to and two friends of theirs. If I give you 5 seconds, that's all you're going to see, right? Oh, one person, two friends, whoop, I'm in. If I give you 5 minutes, are you going to see more than that? Yes. If I give you 5 minutes, you're going to be staring at them and start thinking, well, out of the two friends, how good of friends are they? Who's perhaps the best friend? Who's the leader? What's the dynamic? How do you think they know each other? What do you think the jobs are of those friends? What do you think the backgrounds are? What's their personality type? Are they nice? Are they loud? Oh, where do I stand in comparison to these three people? All this analysis, and if, for example, say you're in a state of fear, that hijacks your focus too, and you're going to start seeing all the scary things and projecting scary things, right? It might just be two people that person just met, knows nothing about them, and is like, just having a friendly conversation because it beats being alone, say, waiting for their actual friend. Say that's a real situation. But you might be projecting, oh, they've been friends for years. Oh, their friends seem very angry. Like they don't want to talk to me. They're very protective. Oh, and you're projecting all this stuff. And then 5 minutes later, you go in, you're already screwed, right? It already affected you. You're reacting to it and then calibrating to it, validating it. So regardless, lower your time of reaction. Don't even give your mind the option to start projecting and speculating. The faster you're in, the better. And this is something that will naturally happen too, the more you let go, because if you have excuses, just make yourself do it so the excuses don't pop in. But as you start letting go, you no longer have those excuses. And if you didn't have those excuses, you'd go in fast anyway. Act real till you remember. Just jump in there. See someone, go say hi. Best way is straight line to that person. No dilly-dallying. Don't half-ass it or kind of hesitate, because people sense that. Okay, people are much more socially savvy than you think, and so are you. And if there was someone who's, say, very nervous and like, oh, like trying to say hi, you would sense it immediately. Like if someone was thinking of saying hi to you and it was very nervous and walking straight and backing up and looping around and peering in, you would know immediately. Okay, if I'm out and say people recognize me, I'll immediately get a sense of it. I'll even tell my friends like, oh, that person, they know me from YouTube. Oh, that person. My friend's like, no way, no way. And then later on, they come say hi and say, hey, thanks so much for the value. I immediately know. We sense that. It's like a human spider tingling. So if you're going in and you're kind of orbiting around, waiting for that perfect occasion, you're already screwed. The perfect occasion is right now. Jump in. And then deal with it. And that makes it exciting for you, right? It's like you don't want to be this social chameleon looking for that perfect occasion. Just get in there, jump in. Right? If it was a friend you knew, once more, assuming familiarity, calibrating to the best outcome. If that was, say, your best friend and you want to say hi to them and they're in a conversation, are you going to wait for the perfect opportunity if it's your best friend? Yes or no? No, you're going to go and be like, hey. Even if it's their birthday party, you're going to go up and interrupt it all and say, hey, because that's your best friend. Do the same here. The same as, say, half-assing, right? Or going dabbling in and out, orbiting around. You wouldn't do that if that was your best friend. You know where you would do that? If it's someone who you know deep down inside has a very high probability or high percentage rate of rejecting you. That's where you would orbit around. If you knew, it's like, hey, you can try anything here, but this person rejects, out of the people who say hi to them, 80% of them. That's where you'd orbit and start calculating and analyzing and trying to find the best opportunity to say hi to them. So you're calibrating to a negative outcome. And that's bad. That's the frame you're setting. That's the reality you're buying into and validating. And if you strongly buy into it, they will too, and they'll act just that way. They'll reject you. You manifest that outcome you're afraid of having. Think of it like this. If you're someone who's so cool, technically, by superficial standards, you could say you would never get rejected. So what about going up and acting as if you never got rejected?
The more half-assed you do, the more you're sub-communicating. I get rejected all the time. That's why I'm so careful and trying to pre-plan the best occasion. If no matter who you talk to, it was always a great response, you would just straight line it to that person and say hi. If you're not straight lining it to that person and saying hi, you're sub-communicating, hey, I got rejected in the past. The more you half-ass in orbit, I've got rejected so much in the past. It's terrible. So the frame of mind is you walk up, straight line, and boom, you're there. There was their life before you and their life after you. And again, all settings, right? I do this myself, right? If I go to a party and there's networking, or I'm at a dinner and there's friends of friends say I want to meet and say hi to, I just, boom, hey, how's it going? Just right in there. There was your life before me, and now there's your life after me. That's how you view it. It's like out of magic, out of thin air, you're there, done. So linking to that opener doesn't matter. One thing I would even suggest doing temporarily, as long as you know why you're doing it, is if you know that's your number one excuse, is every time you see someone, you're scared to say hi, or you just don't do it, give yourself some canned, meaning pre-planned opener, an opening line. Do it. If that's literally the one thing that's blocking you all the time, get a canned opener to get it out of the way and to start jumping into the conversation. As long as you know that that opener doesn't matter, that's why it's okay to have it canned if you want. Like if a conversation goes well, don't give that power to that opening line. So as long as you remind yourself of that and realize that this is just a temporary training wheel to just get things out of the way, by all means, go for it, right? There's two that I had for a very long time myself. And I would say even to this day, if for some reason I don't have anything to say, I'll just rely on that. One, very simple, is introduce yourself. Hey, I'm Julien. Now don't say Julien, but say, hey, I'm whatever your name is. There's your opener. You know what I would say? Introduce yourself. That's better than doing nothing. You could argue like, but isn't there a better one? Sure, but it doesn't matter, right? It really doesn't matter if there's a better one or not, because they're going to see the big picture that is you. And then another one is, do you speak English, or do you speak wherever you are, the language, right? Say I met you here in America. Hey, do you speak English? And of course they're like, well, yeah, nice to meet you. I'm Julien. There you go. Those were two that I've used for a while. Again, there's zero magic in these. It's not going to do anything for you, but if you have that massive resistance, it will eliminate it for you to just jump in and start getting some references. And then as we previously discussed too, with the embrace, exaggerate, laugh, if you also don't know what to say, there's your opener. Just open saying, hey, I don't know what to say. Now you're in. In terms of walking over there too, walk fast, move fast, always with intent. The slower you go, remember, especially until you've really let go, the more excuses, the more projection and speculation. So just straight line, jump in, walk fast with purpose, bang, you're in there.
When starting a conversation, be at the cause and set the frame of the interaction. So what does this mean? It means go up and don't just be like, so hi, nice to meet you, and then just be quiet. You're at the cause. You're going to have to lead. They're like, okay, what does this person want? But also set the frame, meaning why are you talking to them? This must be known. Okay? Imagine right now you're out grocery shopping, right? Actually visualize it. You're in like the vegetable section, you're grocery shopping, and say someone comes up to you and they're just like, hey, how's it going? I'm Julien. You're gonna be like, hey, so your day going good? What are you gonna think? Like, what does this person want? Why are they talking to me? Let me get my vegetables, right? And like, so, see any good movies lately? It's gonna be so weird, right? You're gonna be like, well, okay, like all of that would actually be acceptable if they knew why you were talking to them. If you even just said something like, say you moved to town, you're like, hey, I just moved to town, I'm just new in town, just want to say hi. Okay, cool, nice to meet you. They'd be much more receptive, but until you make it clear that this is why I'm talking to you, that concern is going to be on their mind and it's going to be very weird. So with everyone, they must know, this doesn't necessarily have to be verbalized, but they have to know why you are saying hi, why you are talking to them. What's the context? You looking for friends? Is it a relationship? Are you looking for a business partner? Are you looking for, like, why are you talking to that person? That must be known. You must ask yourself at all times, do they know? And be real and authentic in setting the frame and letting them know from the start. What a lot of people do, especially with fear, is you go into the people pleaser where you're like, hey, this is actually why I'm talking to you, when it's not why you're talking to them at all. And then later on, you're like, actually, it was this. No, no, no. From the start, this is who you are. This is what's up. Take it or leave it. Okay. The frame that I really take when saying hi to someone, when starting a conversation, is always check this out. And this really encompasses all these principles. It's not, hey, will you like me? It's, hey, check this out. And I offer value. It's like you have this party going with yourself, this inside joke with yourself, and you're like, hey, check this out. Or if you're talking with your friends, you could be, say, talking about a movie, and like, say someone's walking by and you're like, hey, by the way, what are your thoughts on this movie? Check this out. It's a question, but it's offering value. And it's join the party. You are inviting them to join your party, not the opposite. Not, please let me join your party, please. No. Okay. And then, of course, don't pursue attract. What most people do is whatever they're saying or doing is going to the other person, right? It's like, I'm saying or doing. The reaction comes back to me. If it's a good one, I feel good. If it's a bad one, I feel bad. Here, what you're saying or doing is to you, to me, I feel good. That transfers onto them. Okay? That is you could say doing to you and attracting versus pursuing. Then, in terms of starting conversations, there is a big focus on, well, should you be just very direct or indirect? There is no such thing as being indirect. Why? Because you're letting everyone know why you're talking to them from the start. Your intentions should always be real. Being indirect, if you actually are like direct, that's like being fake. However, in terms of the verbals, you can say whatever. You can be direct asking for directions. For example, say I want to meet someone, it's like, you seem cool, you'd be like a cool friend. Say that was my intention. I'd go up and be like, hey, by the way, do you know where the event is? But it's still direct in the vibe. The same as, hey, nice to meet you, you seem pretty cool, want to say hi. Verbals don't matter. But intention is always direct, is always real. So if you resonated with this and you want to learn the rest of the steps when it comes to the conversation process, right? Once you know exactly how to say hi, what's the next step and what's the step after that, then click the link below this video and start your journey with high vibe communication. Do not wait, click the link right now because as I mentioned, this is a limited offer. It's not staying open forever. So if you're ready. You're like, teach me how, show me the steps. And it's not just the exact steps when it comes to a conversation. It'll also break down all of these subtle social dynamics that no one talks about. Those dynamics that happen beneath the surface. There are also Zoom calls where you'll be able to practice your social skills with me. I'll be able to give you real-time feedback, and it won't take you like it took me over 15 years to get this handled. Okay, I've been working on myself since 2006, coaching this since 2010. I've coached tens of thousands of clients all around the world, millions online. That's how long it took me. Take the insights, take everything that I've learned from those 15 years working on myself, from those 10 years plus teaching people, and let's get this handled right now. So click the link, get started, and I'll see you in preview number 2.